Hey guys, I'm back again. Over the weekend I had to replace the battery in my truck, so I thought we'd go over two different types of battery testers. The first is this Zoomer style electronic type. These are all over Amazon from multiple different brands, ranging from 20 to 50 bucks. They all do the same thing. They're calculating the battery's internal resistance and using that to tell if it's good or bad. This is the battery in my truck that I already know is bad. So we'll hook up the positive and negative from the tester. It powers up automatically. Like all Zoomer tech, this has a convoluted setup menu. Thankfully, it remembers your previous settings, so you can usually just blow through this. Battery location, we want to pick in vehicle since the battery is currently hooked up to a vehicle. I'm going to pick before charge here since the battery has been sitting for a while. If you just took it off the charger, you'd pick after charge. It has different options for different battery types. These do work on AGM and gel batteries. This supports multiple standards, including DIN and JIS. I just always use CCA, which stands for cold cranking amps. Now we have to input the CCA number. You can go up or down in 5 amp increments. The CCA should be printed on your battery somewhere. Then after hitting enter, it will start the test. It's going to give us a whole bunch of information here. Down at the bottom it says replace, so we know it's a bad battery. The SOH number is our state of health, so that's our health points. We're only at 41% health. It also gives us the voltage, the amp rating. This is supposed to be a 950 amp battery. The state of charge, it's showing 70%. But I just had this on the charger a couple days ago, so it's not taking a full charge. Here's the same test run on the brand new battery. So this one is at 100% health, and at the bottom it says good battery. Sometimes the Zoomer tool just doesn't want to do its job properly. Here's another test on that same battery, and now it's only showing 86% health. I think this is due to a bad connection and the cable clamps. Usually I'll run the test a second time to make sure I'm getting the same result. There's also a couple other tests you can do with this. One is the cranking test. So I'll start up the engine, and here it's measuring the voltage drop while the starter is cranking. Now you could do this test boomer style with a regular voltmeter, but then you have to have eyes on the meter while you crank the engine. With this tester, it stores the lowest reading and leaves it on the screen for you. Here the voltage dropped to 10.92 volts, which is okay. You don't want it to get below 9.5. If I press enter again, it'll go into the charging system test. You're supposed to have a load on the system by turning the headlights on. Then it'll ask you to rev up the engine. And here it's going to give us our charging voltage. 14.5 is about normal. Yeah, these new Zoomer testers are pretty cool. But let's check out the boomer one. This is a carbon pile load tester that I got from Harbor Freight a while back. I don't see it on their site anymore, but there are similar ones from other brands on Amazon. They seem to go from a 65 to over $100. This style uses a carbon pile heating element to actually put a 500 amp load on the battery, basically stress testing it. Now I don't recommend the little 100 amp style ones. Those are fine for lawnmower or small car batteries, but for a big diesel truck battery, it's just not going to put enough load on it. So I've got this one connected to the old, bad battery. It's hard to see on the screen, but the voltmeter is on the right side, and it's showing a little over 12 volts. Now you want to apply a load equal to half of the battery's CCA rating. This is a 950 CCA battery, so we want to apply a 475 amp load. To apply the load, I'm going to start turning the knob in the middle. The amp meter on the left side will start to go up, and the voltmeter on the right will go down. Now since this battery is bad, we're not going to get up to 475. It barely hits 400 amps before it starts dropping. And our volts have gone down into the red area, telling us the battery is bad. There's also a stupid buzzer inside that goes off after 15 seconds. You're not supposed to apply the load for over 15 seconds. The load tester itself gets really hot during use, so you need to be careful not to overheat it. You can also do the cranking test and charging system test on the old school tester. It's just not as easy. The downside is you have to have someone else look at the tester while you're cranking the engine. For the cranking test, just watch to see if the voltage drops below 9 while cranking. If the battery passed the load test, but fails the cranking test, you might have a bad starter or a bad battery cable. For the alternator test, use the bottom bar of the gauge. If it drops out of the green when you turn the headlights on, the alternator might not be putting out enough current. So, which type of tester is better? I don't think there's an answer. The zoomer one is much more convenient. It shows you all the information on the screen, so you don't have to calculate anything yourself. But it can give you some false readings at times, so I just don't completely trust it enough to rely on it. The boomer one is more reliable. With its 500 amp load, it physically stress tests the battery. It can't lie or give you a false reading, but you have to understand what's going on with the voltage and the amps when using it. It's not going to just run the tests for you, and it's bulky and gets hot during use. The bottom line is, I'm keeping both styles in my shop. I want the convenience of the zoomer and the reliability of the boomer. They use two different methods of testing, so I want to have both options available. I mean, they both have a place in our society. That's it for this video. Check out my others if you haven't already. See you later. Bye.